I walked into a bar meeting my best friend and my boyfriend where the whole entire time we were hanging out, they kept going on and on about how good I look, my makeup, my outfit, everything. And it really confirmed that I really let myself go. I just look honestly kind of bad usually. So yeah, and me and my friends always joke, like, now that we're in our 30s where we used to be prettier. No, I think that we just don't have the same time and energy in our 30s that we had in our 20s to always getting ready, and then also having time to document now on days we actually look cute. It's not the same.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see a single mother break down in tears because her daughter misses her dad, doesn't connect with the new stepfather, and she can no longer handle the burden she chose on her own. We'll also look at a more extreme case, a mother arrested for first-degree child abuse. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 150,000 subscribers, and we can make it with your help. Share your experience or opinion about these videos in the comments. And without further introduction, let's get started.
I was really afraid of becoming a single mom because my husband at the time paid for our whole life. He made really good money. He was in sales, and I did not know how I was going to financially support me and my daughter. I coached, but all of the money that I made would be for, like, if we wanted to go on vacation, or if my daughter needed clothing, or maybe 1 month we were tight, so then we would take that money and put it toward like a bill. But he paid for our whole life. Like, if I did not want to work, I did not have to. I would cry thinking, I wanted to be a homeschool mom. How am I supposed to go from being a homeschool mom who believes her kid should be at home with her daughter should be at home with her, to now I have to go and be a working mom? And what am I going to go do and make a whole living from? And that was one of the most questions that I got asked, especially on TikTok, when people first saw my videos. And I worked really hard. I mean, I still work full time. It's a lot. But I have a great job. I love it. And I never got a cent of child support until my ex-husband, he decided recently to move to California, so across the country. I'm in Nashville. So no, I get some, but still not a lot at all, to have my daughter full time, because we pay a lot for her school because she's in pre-K. So yeah, but everybody always asks what I did. I got into sales, now out of sales, but through that job, I did a great job currently.
Stop it. Get some help.
In this life, a woman faces two key decisions: choosing the right man to father her children and taking care of the man she chose as their father. Sadly, she often fails at both. These days, it's rare to see a child between the ages of 10 and 15 whose parents are still together. And how could they be when 80% of divorces are initiated by women? Women who would rather be single mothers than preserve the stability of a family. They break the home, impact the finances, and jeopardize their children's future, all to end up repeating the same selfish line: I deserve to be happy. Because in the end, the man's effort and the family's stability didn't matter, only how she felt. But as with everything in life, time brings its karma. And we'll see that in the next video.
Being a single mom for me, the hardest part is not the financial part. It's literally like the dysregulation that my child has the majority of the time. It got worse after her dad moved to California. And it's so hard because I have so many great tools as to how to, like, help a child regulate their nervous system, and, like, I've done a lot of that work on my own too. It's like, no matter what I do, because she feels like so sad and abandoned, it's like never enough. And I know that, like, sometimes that's just a 3 and a 4 and a 5-year-old, like, regardless, which I just feel like that's, like, not talked about enough as a mom. Like, when your child's, like, always dysregulated and like feeling like a bad mom, or just feeling so miserable, it's like really hard for me to admit that it's so hard. And I feel like even before I was a single mom, I had these days. But then it's like, too, sometimes you see on social media, like, I have seen so many comments from moms of like, I never needed a break from my kids or this or that. But it's so hard. And I have like a boyfriend, but I still consider myself a single mom because I'm usually with my daughter alone because him and I work opposite schedules, and like I financially support myself. Like, yeah, he'll help with my daughter and he's really great, but like even if then you get remarried, it's like nobody talks about the fact that like they don't listen to that parent because it's not their, biological parent that they grew up with. And I've heard like having a blended family and being like a step parent is really hard. And it's like hard for everybody because even the real parent is like, they can't help, they can't intervene the same, it's so hard. I never like anticipated, like when I got a divorce, that I would do this on my own by myself.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Of course, the little girl is going to feel abandoned. You took away her father, her stability, and her home, all for a personal desire. And the worst part is that now you're introducing a new dad, another man she didn't choose, whom she'll have to adapt to, and who, over time, will want to take on a role that doesn't belong to him. And no matter how many times you say he helps with the girl, or that he's great, no one can replace the bond with her biological father. The problem is that many women make decisions based on emotion, never thinking about what comes next. A little girl going from one house to another, adjusting to different dynamics, surrounded by new people she never asked for. A stepfather today, maybe a stepmother tomorrow, and all of them demanding respect, authority, without having earned any of it. But she chose that path because it was the easiest for her, not the fairest for her daughter. And now she says it through tears. She never thought she'd end up doing this alone. But it's too late. Regret doesn't erase consequences.
And I just feel like so run down. And I don't have any family that lives by me, and none of my friends have kids. And sometimes it's just really, really lonely. But I know that I can't be like the only mom that feels this way, and I'm sure like some moms who are even married feel like this. But it's really hard. And so like we went to a place today so I could get a break, but then it's like she screamed, wouldn't get in the car, screamed the whole way home. I came home, I'm like, do you want to play a game? Like, doing anything and everything I can, but like nothing's good enough, and sometimes it's just like so triggering. And it's like the most frustrating part is like I'm just left, like the other parent just was like, I'm gonna leave. And it didn't even feel like a valid reason to me. And I'm like, okay, like, I can't control you. I'm gonna do my best. But, like, my best literally is failing, It's so hard. It was hard being a single mom before, but she wasn't always unwell. Now I feel like 80% of the time she's unhappy, and it's because she misses him and she tells me. So I'm just over here, and I want to enjoy these years because I know that they're gonna go so fast, but I'm not enjoying it right now. I'm so miserable. It's like really kind of embarrassing, honestly, to like sob on this video. I was trying not to cry. But why is being a mom so hard? And why don't moms have like more support? And I felt like this even when I was married too. And I'm sure being a dad is hard too, but I just feel like a lot of times everything's just pushed onto the mom. And we drop the ball. Like, everybody's gonna drop the ball, and it would be nice if, like, the other parent or the partner could, like, pick it up sometimes,
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I want you to notice something crucial. She herself says, I felt that way even when I was married. That says it all. Because now she cries saying her daughter misses her father. But for someone to miss you, they have to spend time with you, feel your presence. And you, when you were with your husband, probably thought what he did wasn't enough. That you handled everything, while he just went to work. But now that you're handling everything, now that the exhaustion is yours, you realize what it meant to have that man there. He paid for everything, and your money was yours to spend however you wanted. He gave you time with your daughter, and when he came home from work, she probably jumped on him because that was her moment with him. But you were the typical woman in this country who believes that housework is more valuable than everything a man does for his family. And they never stop to think about how important a father is in a girl's life. Ask the thousands of women who grew up without one, who today are broken, in therapy, carrying the weight of abandonment. Because many times, it was their mother who made the selfish decision to divorce, separating them from the only man who would never have stopped loving them.
Women.
Of the mother, Kelly Bryant, she set Kelly Bryant's bond at $250 million. And she says if Bryant is able to pay that bond, she is not allowed to have any communications with her family. You're now looking at the mugshot they were able to get of Kelly Bryant. She is 34 years old, and she is facing 3 charges, that is 3 counts of first-degree child abuse. She allegedly neglected her children in her home for years. What you're looking at now, or about to look at too, these images are graphic, but these depict the living conditions that Kelly Bryant's 3 children were allegedly living in. The living conditions of a 15-year-old boy and a 13 and 12-year-old girl.
But then the judges tell us that what's best for the children is always the mother. Really? Cases like this are the direct result of radical feminism, female empowerment, the breakdown of the family, and above all, the systematic abuse of the family courts. In those courts, the man doesn't matter. Even if the mother is unstable, the system protects her. It's easier to issue a restraining order against a father, force him to pay child support, but never give him the chance to care for his own children. Just looking at this horrible case, you have to ask, where was the father? Why didn't he have custody? Why didn't anyone listen to him? Because in places like Michigan, getting custody as a man is nearly impossible. It doesn't matter if the mother is unstable, if there are signs of neglect. What matters to the system is upholding the narrative that the mother is always the best option. This woman should be rightfully behind bars for this.
It is easier being a single mom than a married single mom, despite the financial insecurity, sometimes housing insecurity, having to restart, removing the second adult from the home and just carrying 100% of the weight somehow turns out to be less stressful and causes less resentment than when you are sharing the house with someone who refuses to contribute. I know we're going to have triggered men jumping in the comments talking about how they work a full-time job, they're the breadwinner, they provide the health insurance, so how dare we say they don't contribute? But the contribution to a home is so much more than a paycheck. In most homes, both parents were working anyway. So both parents are managing their 40-hour work week, and then typically the mom is carrying 100% of the labor distribution within the home. I don't know why we call it distribution of labor when it's not distributed at all. The mental labor of being the CEO of your home, the boss of your entire family, is absolutely draining, and it's stressful. Somehow, when the other person's removed from the equation and all of it rests on your shoulders, it's easier. And I have literally heard from thousands of women in the comments that are saying the exact same thing. They may now be managing 2 or 3 jobs just to provide the same lifestyle for their kids, and they might be back in school full time, but they still say it's easier by themselves.
You know what I find funny? Modern women fight to run companies, to hold high-ranking positions, but they can't even manage their own homes. How is that supposed to work? They'd rather take on 2 or 3 jobs, exhaust themselves, live under constant stress, instead of sharing a home with a man who keeps everything paid and provides stability. Is that really better? And the worst part is, we live in a time where appliances do almost everything at home, yet they still play the victim, saying they carry the whole load alone. They choose it, then complain. That's why today we see so many depressed, unstable kids, desperate for attention at any cost. Girls who give themselves to anyone, who dream only of becoming influencers or selling content on the Blue app, because they lack love, structure, and the presence of their father. There's no figure to instill respect, set boundaries, or provide guidance. Because their parents are separated, because their mother decided to take the father out of the home for her peace. But that emotional decision dragged the children down with it. The sad part is, they chose this path, and society applauds it as empowerment. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Have you ever seen a woman destroy a beautiful family? How are the kids doing now? Why do you think there are so many single mothers today? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.